What's up, guys? Welcome to the Coach Fits podcast. Before we get started, I want to just thank everybody already who has left a review. If you haven't already left one, go ahead, do it real quick, takes 5 seconds, give it a quick 5 stars, and then we'll get on with the episode. And while you go ahead and do that, I'll just let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Coach Fits online training. For those of you that need a little bit of help on your fitness journey, go ahead, hit that link in the show notes, right where it says Jumpstart Month, get half off your first month and see what it's all about. All right, enough of that. Let's get going. Okay, what is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be talking about gym etiquette. Yep, gym etiquette. For those of you that don't know, any commercial gyms around there, most commercial gyms out there are flooded with people that have no idea about this concept. So I thought, why not just make an episode about it? So when a client signs on with me, I actually send them out a packet that includes a gym etiquette section because nobody wants to be that jerk in the gym. And most people that are those jerks in the gym don't know it. And probably because they're not using a welcome packet. But I'm going to hook you guys up with all the tips so that you are not that person. Now, a little backstory, which prompted this episode. I went to a Crunch Fitness. Now, I love Crunch. Don't get me wrong. They got great equipment. I mean, the space is incredible. Like, it's not like jam packed on top of each other. I like the gym. However, you can't always control who comes through the doors. And with Crunch gyms or the very, very cheap gyms, you do get the teenagers, you get the college crowd that are wearing next to nothing, flexing in the mirror, taking up all the space in the gym. Like, I had somebody putting their bags and their weight belt and their protein shake and their phone all in the cable stacks where I was trying to use the cable. I was going for chin-ups because for those of you that have been to the gym, you know, it's got like the one stack on the one side, one stack on the other, and in between it's got the different chin-up handles. Those are useful. So I tried using those. However, right dead center was this kid's crap. And I'm just standing there like, dude, do you notice me over here? Or do you own the gym? And then he comes over and he's like, oh, sorry, bro. And he moves it 5 inches. And I'm like, you know what? If I land on your phone, whatever happens, happens. That's on you now. So didn't break his phone, but very, very tempted. I digress. On to the basic tips. Now, when you guys go into the gym, you won't be like that kid. So there are 5 individual points here that are in the welcome packet that I will be going through with you. First thing is the no lift zone. Now, this is that zone where like you basically have the mirror, and then in front of the mirror is the dumbbell rack. And then within the 5 feet of the dumbbell rack is that no lift zone. That's pretty much that spot where if you take your weights out and you start doing some like lateral raises or curls and you're within 5 feet, people cannot get by you to get their weight. Like, it's just awkward to try and reach around or like go for a dumbbell. Be nice. Don't be that person. Back up. You can still see yourself in the mirror from pretty far away. And depending on the exercise, it's not all that heavy. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort to hold it in your hands and walk back a couple extra steps. Now, let's say you're doing some heavy ass rows. First off, if you're going to the side of the rack where it's got the 100s, 120s, 9 times out of 10, you're using too much weight anyway. There are only a handful of people in the world that can do that with proper form. And I'm saying, like, I've seen bodybuilders that are juiced out the hoo-ha that cannot lift 100s, 120s with good form without doing the classic lawnmower, all momentum, like no muscle being used, just jumping it up. So no excuses. There's no weight that is so heavy that you cannot get away from the no lift zone. And if for some odd reason you are the outlier or your friend is, just make sure that nobody's around. Make sure that somebody can like get in if they need to and nobody's waiting on you. So yeah, that's rule number 1. Number 2 is avoid the ab zone. Now, I know Crunch specifically, they usually keep this around like the turf or like there's a a section where they do like the high intensity interval training. Now that spot is good for, sorry guys, I hope you can't hear, but the people next door getting their place renovated. I guess they moved out and they're renovating whoever comes in next. So if you hear banging and stuff, that's what's going on. Sorry, back to the ab zone. So in the ab zone, like I know Crunch has their high intensity zone. I think I've seen Planet Fitness with like their circuit zone. Just in this specific spot, it's not ideal to bring heavy weights. It's just like, I get it if you want to do like floor presses or something like that, where you want to do it on the floor, you want to be comfortable. In that case, grab a mat and do it somewhere else that has plenty of space, because in this section, that's where you're going to get a lot of people stretching. You're going to get a lot of people doing body weight stuff like doing chin-ups, push-ups, using the prowler on the turf, like just not a good spot, not a lot of room. So unless you have no other choice whatsoever, probably a good idea to avoid it. Number 3, we got keep mats out of the way. What a transition there, or lack of. I had a golden opportunity and just dropped it. Keep mats out of the way. When you're setting up a mat, a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, I've seen a handful of people set them up like in between benches, like in almost within that no lift zone. And they're so close that if the person that was working next to them dropped their weights and the weights bounce, there is a good chance that you could get hit, which you don't want. We're in the gym to get better, not to get hurt. So definitely don't want to be within bouncing range. Now, in the packet, it says, let me just double check here. Yeah, avoid benches when you're throwing a mat down, because you're always going to get that person next to you that is lifting like way more than they can handle, and they're really trying to push it pedal to the metal because they just watched their Instagram motivational video and they're going all out. And as soon as they lose it, they're dropping it, and you do not want to be in the vicinity. Number 4 is avoid walking in front of somebody else in the middle of their set. So this all kind of ties together, because this usually happens within that no lift zone or within that like area where the benches are. These are pretty much all tailored to that zone. So let's say somebody's doing like a set of like shoulder raises and they're looking in the mirror, getting all intense, like doing their thing. You don't want to be that person to walk in front of them to grab a weight. You can wait 15 seconds for them to finish their set and then go, but don't do it in the middle, because it's just annoying. It's like when you're trying to do a lot of heavy weights and you realize somebody's walking right next to you and you think they're going to bump into the weight. That is extremely distracting and borderline dangerous. So you don't want to be that person. Now, I can't necessarily say I haven't broken this rule before, because there have been people like the aforementioned gentlemen that I just don't give a shit about. So in that case, when they're disrespecting you and you just don't even care at that point, by all means, go ahead. They deserve it. But if you don't know the person, no reason to hate them just yet. Be nice, respect it. Don't walk in front of them while they're working out. Give it that 10 seconds to wait and then go. It's kind of like the bowling alley. Like when you're just waiting for that person next to you to go, and then they don't go and they're waiting for you to go, and then you both go at the same time and you're like, don't do that. Okay. Tell them they can go, they bowl, then you bowl. And last but not least, actually, I got an extension on this, but number 5, I'm going to make it number 6. Number 5 is put your weights away. Mama did not come to the gym with you, as Coach Rosenmeyer used to say. A mom didn't come to the gym with you. She is not going to pick up after you. So put your weights away. Okay. I'm convinced that the people that don't put their weights away are the people that do not organize for the cleaning lady. Notice I didn't say clean. My mom was clean for the cleaning lady, but I was the type of person to organize, not necessarily clean. Put shit out of the way so they can do their job. Same with the weights. Put them back where they go, so that way somebody doesn't have to clean up after your ass. Nobody likes to be that person in LA Fitness that's looking for the 50s and they're nowhere to be found because they're on the opposite end where the hundreds or where the tens are supposed to be. Anybody that's ever been to an LA Fitness, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single weight is in a random ass spot. And that is because it's like the broken glass effect. Now, for those of you that don't know psychology or sociology, or sorry, it was broken window. The broken window effect was basically, or broken window theory was back in the day when New York was absolutely terrible. They went around and repaired all the broken windows, cleaned up and painted over the graffiti, and kept it that way. And all of a sudden, crime rates went down. For some reason, nobody was breaking windows anymore, doing the graffiti as frequently, because when you make it a standard to do what you got to do, keeping the place clean and orderly, people want to keep things as they are. So if it's really shitty and people are leaving weights left and right, the people that are usually clean are probably going to adjust their behavior and start not giving a shit. Or on the flip side, if somebody is naturally like disorganized and dirty and they don't really care, but they're the only one in the gym that isn't following the rules, they're going to adjust their behavior. Or if they don't, they're just a douche. But more likely than not, they're going to adjust their behavior and everything is going to go where it belongs. And that's going to be the standard. So be part of the good group of people that puts their shit back where it belongs. And 5B, 6, I don't know, whatever we're going to label it. This one is the COVID special. Wipe your shit down. Now, I used to be that person that would never wipe anything down. I'm like, listen, if you have an issue with it, wipe it down before you use it and then do it. Like if you care that much about your cleanliness, then you wipe it down before you're set. But I was wrong. Because for those of you that have been to the gym and noticed some sweat, now we're a little bit more health conscious. So we grab a towel, go to wipe it down. It takes a good minute for it to dry it out or to dry out. And ain't nobody got time for that. So help save your fellow gym goer some time and wipe it down so that by the time they get there, it's nice and dry and clean and good to go. Because regardless of your opinion on COVID, there's other shit out there and it can come from many surfaces, airborne, what have you. Always good to be on the cleanlier side, keeping everybody healthy and happy and lifting. So that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, I think that's it for the gym etiquette. I hope that this helps you guys out so you are not that person. And let's say you did some of this stuff or you currently do some of this stuff. There's no bad time to change behavior. Jeez, they are loud. Sorry about that. I hope you can't hear it. So don't be afraid to change. If you do some of this stuff, change it. Go ahead. Yeah. And that's pretty much that. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Go kick some ass, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, if you have a sec, go ahead and leave a quick review. And if you need help on your fitness journey, go ahead and click that link in the show notes to take advantage of your half off Jumpstart month.